What's up, gamers? This is NGG here with another review video. This time it is for One Piece Pirate Warriors 3 on the PlayStation, and I did not review this game by myself. I did have somebody help me with this review, and let's have them introduce themselves to the channel.
Hey everyone, my name is Devine Cummings, voice acting, also known as Minako 97, and I'm here to review One Piece Pirate Warriors 3 for the PlayStation with Nintendo Gamer Gal here today.
And we are happy to have him. So we played this a while ago on the PlayStation Network, and we also played this couch co-op. So we'll be able to give you both how both ran when we come into gameplay. But for right now, we're gonna let Devine take over the story, and I'll handle gameplay, and then we will both give you a rating.
Okay, so story-wise, it takes place at the very beginning of the arc, which is the East Blue, and as you're traversing through all the arcs and all the stories, you're essentially gathering every member of the Straw Hat Pirates from beginning to end. So you'll go through Zoro's storyline and mission arcs, and then you'll go through Nami's and then Usopp's, and essentially it's just a retelling of everyone's story of like how they joined the Straw Hats crew to beginning to end. And not only is it covering all the story, but it skips no arcs. So you'll be going through each and every individual arcs within their own mission. So you'll get, Frankie, you'll get Brooke, Thriller Bark, you'll get Choppers. Like every Straw Hat member that becomes a crewmate has their own individual mission. So there's no skipping, there's no recapping, and then they join the playable character section later on. It's every individual characters and even side characters along the way. So it's from East Blue to where the series starts off to Dressrosa, where the series had left off last in 2015 before they had continued that in the fourth game. Essentially, the Straw Hat Pirate crew are essentially trying to find the One Piece, and Luffy is essentially gathering crewmates to essentially take him from the East Blue to the Grand Line, and then the Grand Line goes from that to the New World, where essentially they come across Doflamingo and his gang of pirates, and essentially from 2015 they had to wrap it up because the story was incomplete. The fourth game does cover that, but this is number 3, so number 3 only covers the Doflamingo arc, and that's where they kind of just leave off and separate to go fight Kaido, who we didn't know was a thing at the time until this game ended. Each arc is different. Each arc covers things differently. So like sometimes, like for Zoro, you're basically just trying to escape him from the Marines, and then Nami, she has Arlong Park, you have Arlong Park where she's trying to get enslaved essentially. You also have things like CP9 and Water 7, where you're trying to rescue not only Nico Robin, who is another party member, but also Frankie as well. And then you have things like Thriller Bark, where you come across a new party member, but he's also been captured in this island as well, which is also you're trying to rescue him and then recruit him later on as well. Each individual mission arcs are different. They don't all like play out the same. They all like have their each own stories, and then there are some arcs and missions in this game that are unique and only exclusive to this one. For example, Fishman Island, after the time skip, hasn't been playable and still isn't playable in any other previous game. You also have Punk Hazard during the time skip as well, and then Dressrosa is in other games, but mainly the exclusive ones in here are Thriller Bark, Fishman Island, and Punk Hazard, which aren't in other previous games. And a lot of them are just, enslaving like people and party playable characters that become later on, but they all have unique gimmicks and, special unique fights and gameplays, which Gamer Gal will go into. But yeah, essentially it's just rescuing and acquiring playable characters that become party members in the future of the story.
I am going to tell you that I actually don't like that the Pirate Warrior games do that. I feel like I don't know that it's specifically just the Pirate Warriors games. I think it's like the anime-based games, because it happened with Attack on Titan for us too. Like, I could play Attack on Titan 2 and know everything that happened in 1. I feel like each one should be its own arc in the series. Like, I don't need a whole recap of the series. Play a little recap if you want in the beginning as a little movie, but have the game be its own like arcs and stuff, so that it's completely different stories, so that I don't play, like right now we played Pirate Warriors 4 already, and some of the same storylines were happening. I mean, some of them were more in depth, but some of the same storylines were happening in this one as well, and I'm like, why? But that's just me. That's a personal. It's personal for me that I don't like when they do that with these animated series in these warrior style games, that they feel the need to recap the whole series. I'm like, you don't need to recap the whole series. Just stay on one or stay on the arc you're gonna be on, and then if somebody wants to know the recap of the whole series, either get the other games or have a little movie recap, where some games do that so that they know what's going on, or the gist of what's going on. All right, let's get into gameplay. And gameplay is where it's at in most of these warrior games. So I liked playing with two of the characters. I played with Zoro and I played with Sanji sometimes. I do like that when you play with Sanji. Am I correct that he's the one who can't attack girls?
Right.
Yeah. Right. They'll tell you in the beginning, hey, this part is unbeatable if you play as this character, because there are like female pirates and he won't attack them. So I ended up having to switch to Zoro because, you know, Zoro don't care. But I did like that they keep, like, even without watching the show, they keep like with what it's going on in the show. Like, he doesn't attack women in the show, so he doesn't attack women in this game. And I really like that they kept that mechanic in. It was also in the number 4 as well. We played this as a co-op experience, so we played this online when I had my PlayStation online, and I don't think it was split screen when you play online. You have your own screen. You can see the person moving with the arrows on your map, I believe. It's been a while. And when you play couch co-op, it's split screen. So you can play either way. I think I prefer couch co-op just because I like to know where, like, exactly where the person is, and I can see it on the screen, as where when you're playing it online, all you see is their little arrow unless they walk up to you. Again, this is a warrior style game, so it's a lot of like hack and slash, lots of hordes of enemies. To be fair, a lot of these warrior games, if you go after like the leader in every area, it'll kill the sub people around. So usually I just go after the person with the bar over their head and leave all the little hordes of people. They give you more points when you kill all the little guys as well, but I usually just tend to go for the big bosses. Is there anything you want to add in gameplay?
Let's see. I believe that's about covers it. I know online wise, if you're playing with like a friend or another member, you get like berries or a bounty essentially, and whenever you finish a mission online, that's essentially like their leaderboard essentially. And other than that, all I can say is that this is on the Nintendo Switch and it doesn't have online. It's only local.
Which is why we're playing it here. Because the Nintendo, I wanted to get the Switch version, and then when I found out it didn't have cross-play or any online play, because that's how we started. I mean, I don't know if the Switch version has couch co-op. That's not something I looked into, but I know it definitely didn't have online, and that's how we started. So when I picked up my copy of One Piece, Pirate Warriors 3, it was on the PlayStation Online, which is why I don't have a copy. I don't have a copy to show you guys that I own it, because I only own it digitally. Minako obviously owns it physically twice. But yeah, so let's get into rating. What would you rate One Piece Pirate Warriors 3?
Honestly, I would rate One Piece Pirate Warriors 3 a 5 out of 5. I honestly think that this is the best experience of not just of the video games of the Warrior series for One Piece, but just a perfect retelling of the One Piece series as a whole. As I mentioned with the story recapping, it covers every basis. Like, it covers from Zoro's recruitment, Nami's, Chopper's, Brook, Frankie's, Nico, Robin, and even characters that aren't even like technically Straw Hat members, like law or enemies. Like, it covers it the whole basis. And like I said, One Piece Pirate Warriors 3 has three to four levels that aren't even in the fourth one. And the reason why I say four is because Skypiea was just an arc that was covered in there, which skipped my mind, because like I said, there's so many different arcs and levels and missions in this game that aren't in previous games that you just will never experience, because the fourth game is just essentially like a recap, or essentially the fourth game is like a Cliff Notes version of the series, whereas this covers the whole basis of every arc, every character, every motivations, and even special side missions that you can do that can get additional like dialogue and cutscenes along the way. So in my honest opinion, One Piece Pirate Warriors 3 on the PlayStation gets a 5 out of 5, honestly.
All right, so I'm not gonna be as generous. I think it gets a 2.5 from me. I do like that it recaps the series. So I've never watched One Piece, so I'm not a fan. I am a Warriors fan, but I'm not a One Piece fan. So I do like that it recaps the story for me, like what's going on, and it covers like the actual arcs that were going on at the time. So I could keep up with the story. I don't like the art style of One Piece, and I think that's just gonna be a me thing. And I know that's a me thing, which is why my rating is so weird. I don't like the art style. I like how Koei Tecmo put it in, but I just like generally don't like the art style of One Piece. So like a lot of that bothered me. There were no frame rate issues or anything like that, so no technical problems that we ran into. I didn't enjoy a lot of like the back and forth, and then like to find the mysterious things, it like stops you mid-game. So like if you're walking around and you find like this mystery treasure thing, it stops the whole arc for a second, and then you have to find whatever treasure event, and you sometimes are timed, and sometimes you don't have enough time to find that treasure event, and that was annoying for me. I know I was supposed to cover that in gameplay, but yeah, those are some of the things that annoyed me. So I think it was just an average like warrior style game for me. It was nothing special, but I do like that they recapped the story in a way that I can understand characters' motivations, and I did not, I didn't feel lost in playing this series. But that's all for me. Do you want to give us your exit ticket?
Oh, yeah. So you can find me on YouTube at Devine Cummings Voice Acting, and you can find me on Twitter at Devine Cummings Voiceover. And thank you so much for Nintendo Gamer Gal for having me today with this review.
Yep, it was a pleasure having you as always. And thank you guys for watching. If you have played One Piece Pirate Warriors 3, let us know what you think about it in the comments below. If you are a One Piece fan and hate what I said about One Piece, I'm sorry. Let me know in the comments below what I missed and why I should become a Warriors fan. A One Piece fan. But anyway, thanks for watching. Happy gaming, guys. Bye.